Talk about close calls. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 deleted scenes that almost ruined movies. Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we're ranking scenes that, if left in the final theatrical cuts of movies, would have ruined the overall viewing experience. These scenes have to have actually been shot, not just storyboarded or discussed. And we're also allowing for alternate endings, just to cover all the bases of badness.
Are we having fun yet, Blade? I sure hope so. Because after I'm done with you, I'm gonna the whole human race.
Number 10. Luke as a Witness, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope.
You gotta take it a little easy, Luke. You may be the hottest bush pilot this side of Mos Eisley, but those little skyhoppers are dangerous.
There's a wealth of deleted scenes within the Star Wars universe. Some of them are great, others are, well, not so great. The second half of this sequence from Episode 4 is actually quite cool, as it lends a bit more screen time to Garrick Hagen, who plays Luke's friend Biggs Darklighter. Unfortunately, it's at the expense of a scene that shows Luke witnessing the opening space battle from Tatooine, which severely hurts his character's wide-eyed innocence. Revenge of the Sith wasn't safe from deleted nonsense either, as evidenced by a corny scene featuring Anakin, Obi-Wan, and a whole lot of cheesy hand gestures.
Might I recommend?
Far too many of them for that.
Oh, yes, all right.
Number 9. Melting the Ice Queen, The Devil Wears Prada.
Something funny? Oh.
Meryl Streep's character in The Devil Wears Prada is known for her frosty, unemotional behavior. Perhaps this is why fans reacted with such shock when they saw this deleted scene from the hit 2006 film. Streep's Miranda Priestley is at a high society function when her intoxicated husband walks into the room, embarrassing her with his obnoxious behavior.
Excuse me? Mr. Rabbits?
Yes.
Anne Hathaway's Andy Sachs rescues the moment with some quick thinking, and is rewarded with a mouthed thank you from Priestley. Although the moment is nicely rendered, it totally goes against the nature of Streep's character, and the film is honestly much better off for having stricken this one from the record. Number 8. I'm not even supposed to be here today. Clerks.
You're closed.
Clerks is known for its humor, wit, and memorable characters. However, it easily could have been infamous for something very different. Director Kevin Smith actually shot an alternate ending where quick-stop clerk Dante Hicks is murdered by an armed robber. The sequence is probably intended as a morbid riff on the fact that Hicks had come in on his day off, but the tonal shift is just too dramatic and shocking for the audience. It'd be one thing if Clerks had this sort of humor permeating it from the start, but it doesn't. And this ending would have come straight out of left field, leaving audiences with one seriously bad taste in their mouths.
You know what the real tragedy about all this is? I'm not even supposed to be here today!
Number 7. Bums for no reason. Ghostbusters.
I think that a good karate guy is always going to top a heavyweight boxer. No.
Ghostbusters is a beloved comedy classic, with legions of devoted fans who feel the film is pretty close to perfect. Perhaps then it's a good thing that this scene was cut from the film, as it's just, well, sorta confusing. Bill Murray and Dan Aykroyd appear as a pair of bums who are discussing an assortment of subjects unrelated to the film's plot, just as Louis Tully speeds by them with Gozer's Keymaster hot on his heels.
Get out of the way!
It isn't the dialogue that hampers this scene, but the choice of casting. There's simply no reason for Aykroyd and Murray to play multiple characters. Might have worked as an SNL skit, though.
Yeah, the moon came out surprisingly early.
Number 6. Gay Panic, Back to the Future.
Well, what if I go back to the future and I end up being gay?
Chalk this one up as a joke that doesn't quite land the same way today. This deleted scene from Back to the Future features Marty McFly stressing out over the prospect of taking his mother on a date during his time in 1955. He asks Doc Brown whether or not there's a possibility of him becoming gay when he finally gets back home to 1985.
Why shouldn't you be happy?
Now, the joke here is in Doc's reply, quote, "Why shouldn't you be happy?" A riff of Brown's 1950s vernacular. However, by today's standards, Marty comes across as a little homophobic, making this scene one that was undeniably better left out of this timeless film.
I just don't know if I can go through with it.
Number 5. A Casual Beheading in Bruges.
She's gone, Harry. She's gone.
Yeah, I can see that, Ken. Why don't you just sit there crying about it? I'll sort it out.
Doctor Who fans desperate to see everything the 11th Doctor Matt Smith has ever done might want to skip this one, as it is strange, even by the Good Doctor standards. Smith appeared in a deleted scene shot for the 2008 cult film In Bruges, playing the younger version of Ralph Fiennes' character, Harry Waters. The sequence showcases Smith casually walking into a crowded police station in broad daylight and beheading a detective with all the passion of swatting a fly. Sure, the scene does offer up some character development for Fiennes' character, but the scene's setting, style, and execution simply don't hold water in the real world.
Now, don't get mad, but I think I just beheaded your detective.
Number 4. A happy ending? The Shining. We all like happy endings, right? Well, that may or may not be true, but one thing on which most horror fans can agree is that the ending of Stanley Kubrick's The Shining is an absolute classic. The slow zoom into the Overlook Hotel ballroom photograph raises questions and debate among fans to this day. But what if that wasn't the whole story? There was a scene cut in between Jack's frozen death and that final zoom that followed Wendy and Danny being treated in a hospital, softening the otherwise bleak blow of The Shining's final moments. Tragically, the scene is now lost, but we think Kubrick's decision was ultimately for the best.
I surrender all my love to you.
Number 3. Pigface. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? This deleted scene from Who Framed Roger Rabbit doesn't work for a number of reasons. For starters, its depiction of Eddie Valiant getting fitted with a cartoon pig's head by Judge Doom and his goons is just disturbing. Moreover, it also hurts Eddie's character, as he's later seen washing the tune off his face in the shower. It just doesn't behoove our character to kill a tune in cold blood, even if it's taking residence on his face, and it also lessens the impact of the turpentine-based dip as plot device in the film. All in all, we're glad this scene didn't make it into the final cut. Number 2. Everything's Gonna Be Alright. Terminator 2, Judgment Day.
Nothing much happened. Michael Jackson turned 40. There was no Judgment Day.
Sure, the Southern Fried Schwarzenegger scene from Terminator 3 Rise of the Machines was pretty bad, but even that deleted sequence isn't as disappointing as this alternate ending to James Cameron's massive 1991 hit, Terminator 2 Judgment Day. This happy epilogue is narrated by Sarah Connor and shows a future where Judgment Day never comes. Yet her son John still somehow exists, living his life as a U.S. Senator.
John fights the war differently than it was foretold. Here, on the battlefield of the Senate.
Forgetting for a moment that John never would have been conceived without Kyle Reese traveling back in time from a war-torn future, the scene also suffers from an unconvincing Linda Hamilton voiceover and an ultra-cheesy tone. We'll keep our post-apocalyptic future, thanks.
How's that?
Thank you, Grandma.
Number 1. Crab Walk, Alien. The main issue with this deleted scene from Ridley Scott's Alien isn't so much its execution or intent, but more with, editing. The shots on this extended death scene focus needlessly long on the xenomorph's slow crab walk towards Lambert, before panning out as the alien stands up to its full height. If we've learned anything from Jaws, it's that keeping your creature effects hidden creates tension, and showing too much of them can lessen their impact. That's part of the reason why this scene doesn't inspire the sort of fear it should, with the other being that the crab walk, although creepy, isn't vital to the alien or its behavior.
Lambert? Do you agree with our picks? Check out these other great clips from WatchMojo and subscribe for new videos every day.